So you've curated an impressive array of SaaS for many companies.
Something wherein end of each month there is a little shortage. Anybody can log into our app, a faceless application. They have made blockchain only for real estate. I always say the new age is roti, kapda, makan or Wi-Fi.
Welcome to Let's Talk Sense, the podcast where we explore the intersections of business, technology and society. I'm your host, Neharika Vaidya. With a background in marketing strategies, content creation, and a deep interest in history, psychology, and spirituality, I bring a holistic perspective to our discussions. Today, we are diving into the world of fintech and innovation with a very special guest. Joining us is someone I've had the pleasure of being in touch with, whose ideas and discussions have always been a source of inspiration and fascination for me. Mr. Chinmay Shah, a seasoned tech maven with over 25 years in the industry. Mr. Chinmay is director of Crescent Electronics Private Limited, CEO of Starlight Tech Labs and co-founder of Accomation, and has curated a range of successful products for various companies, guided startups through financial intricacies, and consistently delivered insights that shape the future of fintech. Today, he's here to share his knowledge and experiences. Welcome to the show, Mr. Chinmay.
Thank you, Neharika, for having me on Let's Talk Sense.
My pleasure.
Look forward for an interesting communication.
Oh, definitely we will. Let's begin the first segment of our show, the evolution of fintech. Mr. Chinmay, you've deeply been involved with the fintech space for decades now.
True.
When people think of fintech, they usually associate it with terms like UPI apps, stock investment, or maybe loan apps.
True.
Could you maybe shed more light in this area, give them a bit more intel about what exactly it is, and also fintech as everyday tools, what more could it do?
Certainly, Neharika. Thank you for recognizing this vast landscape of fintech. You are absolutely right. While many immediately think fintech as UPI or of the worlds or insure, there are multiple variants in fintech which we are using already in day-to-day life, but which we are not aware.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So as a core, fintech refers to any technological innovation that improves or automate any financial services.
Okay.
And there is also a new term which is called TechFin.
Oh.
So fintech and TechFin, there are two separate entities. While fintech is something like, as you mentioned, API, UPI, or could it be your net banking? That is also fintech. It could be DFI, it could be securities. There are multiple variants. But people, as a layman, everybody finds it very hard and tough jargons. But practically speaking, somehow or other, we are already using in day-to-day life. While TechFin is something what you, for example, call it Apple Pay, wherein you don't need to pay your credit card also. Now there are variables where you can tap your watch and do a payment, where there is a ring by some other brand whom you can pay. That is what is called fintech and TechFin. So it's bit difference is services and one is products.
Wow, that's quite insightful. I had no clue about the TechFin part of it.
Correct. Trust me, India is so ahead in world landscape when it comes to core banking or net banking.
Yes, definitely the UPI thing. I mean, we are known internationally, right?
Definitely. I'll tell you a small incident. I happened to take a vendor from Hungary and for lunch. And post lunch, I was paying through a credit card. He said, no, don't do that. Do that QR thing. I said, what QR thing? So then I was in Delhi yesterday at Chandni Chowk and we were having street food and your colleague paid to a hawker through a phone, which will never happen in a country like us even after 10 years. So to be honest, Neharika, that time we realized that we are way too ahead. For us, it is a normal thing by now. We are accepting our street hawkers, our fruit vendors, or could it be a pani puri wala?
Must have been quite a proud moment for you.
Definitely, no, it was. And these people make us think more that acha, ye bhi hai.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes.
So on to our next question. You've led discussions on key trends shaping the future of fintech, such as your discussion at PDEU Mudra. Correct?
Yes.
What are the most exciting developments of fintech today that will be influencing the financial systems of tomorrow?
Sure. Yes, I've been fortunate enough, Neharika, to be part of, invited by multiple education institutes such as PDU had a Mudra, IIT has ECEL. I was invited by MS University Baroda as well. And most of the topic was fintech. So good part is about, I love the energy about this youth. PDU Mudra, you won't believe, it was a batch of MBA students specific into real estate and infrastructure.
Wow.
So those were interested in how fintech can help companies like real estate. Rather, it was more of a financial thing. Fintech is a new age terminology to finance only.
Very true.
And kind of questions they had, how automation can be done in our industry. There were questions pertaining to how real estate is comparatively a very unorganized sector, and how can that be try. We want to start everything into, say, something like a blockchain.
Okay.
So there's a company whom we are working currently. They have made blockchain only for real estate. So for example, 80 lakh rupees or 8 lakh rupees could be one cryptocurrency. So there are builders in India already who will be managing their own token system, and you have to only pay through a blockchain or a cryptocurrency. So no matter wherever you are in world, you're an NNI or you're local or you are buying for somebody else, that could be done through that.
That's pretty advanced, yeah.
Pretty advanced, and it's this is new India. So that's the way things will work in coming days.
I guess we are at the right place and right time, right era to be precise.
Very true. And yes, IIT ECEL also I was part of it. And IIT has a ECEL which I'm mentoring almost. We had a lovely session of more than 80 students for 5 exhaustive hours.
Oh my God.
So, to be honest, it was not even easy for me to create a content for 5 hours, but was fortunate enough, and IIT being IIT, of course, they don't leave any choice.
I think it's only you who could do that.
No. It comes naturally, to be honest. The seeing at the energy. Second thing, today's youth has super clarity. They know what they want in life. They know what are they going to do, how they are going to do, which is very, very what I can say, enlightening. It's fun to see their questions, their curiosity. They are very open in terms of if they don't know what to ask, they will quietly ask.
Quite inquisitive.
And that's the way it should be. So it's a two-way engagement. Whenever I go for it, I take any keynotes, I make a point it is interactive. Hear from both hands.
I'm aware. With our previous discussions, it's always been like that. I always get to learn something from you. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It's time for the second segment of our podcast, innovation and product curation. So you've curated an impressive array of SaaS, for those who don't know, software as services products for many companies. Could you share some examples of these products and the innovative approaches you've imbibed in these for them?
Certainly, yeah. So Neharika, by now I have almost made around 22 to 23 startups, products as a service, and which I have curated, mentored, and run the businesses as well, which includes something like a credit card aggregator. I have created a product which is a payday loan, and also point of sales, reward loyalty, etc. And most of this are products. I have a little upper edge when it comes to fintech, food tech, and ed tech. So education, finance, and food. These all three are close to my heart. So created most of the products. But yeah, fintech is what we are talking today. I'll give you an example of a product called for a payday loan. India, it's not very popular. It's getting now here. Payday loan is something wherein end of each month there is a little shortage of cash money.
Yes.
So before the salary comes. So say somewhere between 20th of each month to 30th, anybody can log into our app, a faceless application. You directly put your PAN card, Aadhaar card and the salary slip, and we will provide you a loan of 5,000, 10,000 and 15,000 rupees respectively according to his or her CIBIL score, which is an automated product, and directly they will get it in 24 hours. And the day they get salary, could it be between 1st to 7th, directly that amount will come back to us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
cover that month and so.
Correct.
Okay.
So it's a small shortage. You don't need to get embarrassed to ask for a loan, ask for money from anyone. It's a tech tool. It's a way of finance.
That's quite innovative, because this is actually a legit issue these days. I've seen it everywhere.
And it was there before 100 years and it will be there for next 100 years, we believe.
Yeah, they're like, bro, do you have any money on you?
True,
I mean, they can come to the app now, which is less embarrassing and more convenient.
Correct. There's another application what we built for credit card aggregator, wherein there are multiple offers on each segments. Could be food, could it be everyday services, it could be travel. But who are the ones who are actually using your credit card points? Nobody uses or nobody redeems it.
Actually.
What our app used to do, it used to do the know-how, check what personal credit card you have, you will be getting more discount.
Fascinating. You also mentioned about food tech.
Correct.
Could you tell me a bit more about that?
Sure. So for example, today's world, nobody can live without Zomato or Swiggy. So that's a food tech. But largely food tech, what we built is a B2B application for a HoReCa industry, which is hospitality, restaurant and caterers.
Oh.
So it's a little large application. We are building dark stores application. So it's in layman's language or current what Blinkit is doing. That is what we do for hospitality industry.
Wow.
And so any restaurant, anything they want, it's like a Zomato for restaurants.
Wow. And much needed too.
Yeah, so the way India is growing, food is growing, spending power on food is getting so high. Everybody, it's a very common thing by now. So that's in Ahmedabad, city like Ahmedabad, every month there are 10 new opening and 15 closing. So it's the ratio is there's so much of consumption, but there is no consistency. So that is where we get into picture and help restaurant owners to get their stuff automated.
I think you're quite ahead of all of it. You've got everything thought of.
So not really, but this has always been there. Just my role is to be very honest with whatever little business acumen we have, is trying to make any unorganized sector an organized one. Could it be a timber, it could be fruit, it could be food. So I always say the new age is roti, kapda, makan or Wi-Fi. This is the new age thing and new age need for every human being. So what we are trying to do is be a catalyst between any unorganized sector to organized.
That's very well put. You seem to have a knack of coming up with ideas that seem to always work out somehow. So what's your math or strategy behind it? And also, what's your approach towards the problem solving and innovation aspects of those?
So honestly, Neharika, there is no maths in this ecosystem.
Oh, is it?
What I call or what I feel is anything disruptive idea or any problem solving tech, that is what I opt for. So there are two types of startups, and what I call is one is vitamin and second is a painkiller. So vitamin is always good. It's everybody says yellow, take this, is good for health, good for hair, but 70 to 80% people don't have it. While second is a painkiller, which is a must thing. Say you are in pain, so you will apply a Volini or Iotex by default. You won't think twice. So whatever application software through tech, what I have made into are largely painkillers. So that's the reason where people, it's a pain point of any business. So currently, I have a co-founder at Mission, which is a FinTech. What we do is we are solving a problem for all business owners when it comes to an accounting. So what it does, we directly take picture of any of your invoice and it directly push to our app. It will push to your respective accounting software. So there is no need of an accountant. Now ask any business owner around you. For them, a good accountant is a myth. Even ask any chartered accountant, are they having good interns? They will say no. Because at the end of the day, it's a copy paste. आपने कहीं से लिया, you take an invoice, read it, that Apple iPhone 15 Pro Max, 1,29,900, enter it. There is no brain in it. There is no awareness. There is no कुछ है नहीं, दिमाग नहीं लगाना, to be honest. It is copy paste. उसमें भी the people make mistake. So rather make that accountant a smart one. Let him or her do a more productive thing. And that's the success of Mission. And by now, it's only few months, 3 months by now, and we have already 250 plus users.
Wow.
And yeah, so, and another multiple large case studies as well. So this is what I call a painkiller.
Your approach is really unique. I mean, and you've covered each aspect of each industry, like fintech, food tech, and even edutech.
Right.
I wanted to know more about the edutech aspect of it.
Sure. So EdTech, education is very close to my heart. Apple, we have always been an Apple solutions expert. So where we help any schools, could it be from higher education to K-12 to higher education, we help children to make a unique pedagogy in education. So when iPad is a toy, everybody has an iPad, but you know what they do? Do FaceTime, do surfing, check emails. But Neharika, actually iPad is the most powerful tool, one can make optimum use of it.
How?
So what we do, we enable content, we make digital books, we have mixed reality content. So there is a company, a startup, what we call is STEM, which is science, technology, electronics, arts and maths.
Oh.
So may it be the ICSE board, may it be CBSE, may it be state board, may it be IB board, any part of world, this five terms, science, technology, electronics, arts and maths, these are core of any human being. If you succeed in it in a better fashion, then you ought to be a successful person.
It's also the core of, I think, there's a research that took place while working in the IT industry. I came across a client who came to me for some content work for his website, and he was explaining me that he had this whole questionnaire that is designed to actually point out which intelligence of yours is strong. That he believes there are 7 types of intelligences, and based on that the students could go ahead and choose their career. It points their aptitude.
Very smart, very smart. That's the way it should be. Last week only I had a startup called NeoBrain, and what they were doing, it was a wearable hairband, and purpose was everybody's attention span is going down on digitally. Say if you are on any YouTube or you say on Instagram, you tend to do it faster. It's 3 seconds, 6 seconds. And the same will apply to students' mind. So there is an app and there is this hairband which is a wearable thing. So how you play game, you will get a report on how sensitively or how focused you were during that. So it's literally the first tagline of that startup was, what if I can read your mind? Is it scary or are you open to it? I said, I'm open to it.
Very accurate.
Yeah, so quite accurate. So this is new age and this is up and running. This is no prototype. These are ready-made tools available. Just what we need is to do awareness in education. And to be honest, when I say iPads or Apple of the world, that doesn't mean we only cater the top of the line schools or anything. We even work with government, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, Anganwadi. So even municipality schools require, they are ready and they have already floated expression of interest to to get such products in municipality schools.
Wow, that's quite progressive.
This is progress. This is new India.
This discussion keeps getting interesting and interesting. I think the audience would want this show to never end.
Sure.
On to our segment number 3, technology and AI. Given your expertise in technology and the tech ecosystem, what can you tell us about the new AI features that Apple has to offer? And how is it going to influence the consumers and the tech industry at large?
So Apple is unbeatable as expected, and with this new Apple Intelligence, which would be integrated part of iOS 18 and Mac OS, they have made something out of this world so far, like always. So, such small things like how you'll be using your Apple Pencil, like a notepad. Just scribble it like a pen and paper, and it will do the calculation. You write 20 plus 42, it will automatically mention 62. It will come. It's like a calculator. Now, how that works? A text converted into, it will automatically detect a plus sign, and it becomes your calculator. It's a new age of working, new way of working. Apple is very good at consumer as well as enterprise side. Secondary, for example, Siri. Could it be Apple HomePod, or could it be their own indexing? It's one of the finest and most underrated search engine ever. It's a best example of Siri. Could it be Apple Watch? Could it be iPhone? Could it be Mac? The same ecosystem works everywhere. It's not only about internet. It's not about search engine, but Mac OS. If you do want to search a file, say name Chinmay or Crescent, it will also detect that from your own hard drive. Not necessarily everything should be on cloud or on the internet. Without internet also, it can work.
Very true. I mean, just a year or two ago, when I think everyone was discussing about Apple, how it's so helpful for managing smart homes, in short. And being from the designing field, like I've got quite a few friends in NID, and I myself have been in design.
Right.
I still do design.
Right.
That's the sole purpose why I bought an iPad.
Sure.
I mean, that's a different story that I'm watching Netflix every day.
That's a multiple use.
It's a boon.
It's a boon, right. No, so it's best of entertainment and work. For example, now when I mentioned about Apple Pencil, we are building a tool, a AI tool. It's called Legal Tech, which is for lawyers, which is for medical representative, which is for educators. So same pencil and same iPad can clear your piles of books what a high court lawyer or judge will take it. Everything will be intact in a single app, and through your pencil you can do your annotation, you can do your search, you can highlight, whatnot. Right? And then trust me, it is not basic highlighting or basic. It's more about a collaboration tools for lawyers, for high courts.
Wow, it's influencing every sector,
It
right?
will. So purpose is, iPad is a piece of glass. Unless and until you don't enable with any smart tool, you will watch Netflix. Unless and until it's a use, you ought to use it. It's like a computer. You cannot go out without your wallet the same way you won't go out without your iPad.
I think you should have a separate video on the features, all the features that one can use, because most of the people are not even aware of all the features.
True, very true.
Including I.
To be frank, I'm an Apple authorized trainer, and I've been training train the trainers. I don't teach individuals largely, but train the trainers as a program where I train teachers, I train IT experts on how to make optimum use of Apple products.
That's quite impressive.
Yeah.
You've spoken at numerous forums, CEO Talk by Tata Tele Business Services, about rising to challenges with a tech advantage. In your opinion, how should business leverage AI and emerging technologies to stay ahead of the curve?
You have done quite a homework. This Tata CEO Talk was one of my early talks during COVID. And yes, so everybody's talking about AI, but that entire talk, Tata somehow I got very huge respect. They had called me to check what is about ethical AI, how AI is leading everyone's life, how machine learning is taking. So people are not aware that data is being robbed. What they are not aware what we search. That's the reason why we see advertisements of them. And then Tata, they have a specific domain in IT, they call it Tata Enterprise, which tries to stop that through their various tools. And I've been invited, was fortunate enough to be invited for that event. The topic again was ethical AI, and their vision was clear on AI opinion for ethical use. And that was the talk about, wherein myself along with multiple CIOs and CTOs of large companies pan-India were present, and Tata had a huge good solution for them. It was more of an awareness talk. Yeah.
But much useful, I should say. I mean, I never thought that people would think of the other perspective of it, the flip side of it. So,
So there is a flip side of everything. It could be medicine, it could be sports, or it could be AI. So, but unfortunately, that is how the world economy runs. The one who makes liquor are also making medicines, or the other way. Then and then only the consumptions will be there.
Personally, a huge fan of Tata.
Yeah, me too. So huge respect.
Segment 4, networking and startup process. Networking is quite a crucial element in anyone's professional journey. What's your take on networking, and what kind of people are you drawn to while you're building your own network?
Somehow word networking is getting too cliche. Don't get me wrong, but everybody's overnight getting into networking. I would rather call it socializing, when you meet like-minded people, where you learn more. And I try to tend to meet people from my own industry and other industries as well. And to be honest, it's your observation, or it's your key to the details. I understand what is the pain point of each business. It could be agriculture, then build agri-tech. If it's finance, then build a fintech. If it's education, you build a ed-tech, something like that. So networking, yes, it is important, but meeting the right people. It's not about joining, it's not a club. It's even in club, people go for network. Why people play golf? It's more largely for high individual networks. So, and that has remained since ages, and it will remain forever. Kind of people whom I usually socialize are largely business owners or same field people. And we discuss very openly. I'm very open about whatever I'm doing, and I expect the same from the other end. There is nothing like a competition. It's always a healthy competition. I always give an example. Uber will also run, Ola will also run, and even Rapido will work. So more you discuss, more you will get insights. People will share their problems of building a product or building a brand, and what they faced and how they overcome it. So next time when I'm building something for myself or a client, I make a point and try to see if that's of help. That is where networking is important.
As it is, it's a very small world, and
it is.
They say that कोई भी कभी भी किसी के काम आ सकता है.
बिल्कुल. No harm. And Ahmedabad, fortunately, or India as a whole, it's a very small ecosystem. When you are very niche, say you're into real estate, you know most of them. If you're into IT, you know most of them. Of course, when I mean most, it is not everybody, but purpose is it's a small group in Ahmedabad or Bangalore ecosystem, Delhi ecosystem, Gurgaon has their own IT system. So how it helps Neharika, for example, I'll be traveling next tomorrow in fact. So they will mention in a group, their own WhatsApp group or community groups, that Chinmay Shah from Accommodation is visiting here is into FinTech, and if anybody would like to meet, there will be more than 30% people who would plan a meet, come over for a coffee, tell their issues, tell their concerns, what they do, and it's a long-term collaboration.
What's that you're having?
Water, it's a alkaline water. It's called dark.
So is it your own or something?
Yeah, so it's we are into food tech, as I mentioned, and we have built our own product, which is largely used for sports as well as lifestyle product, which has less pH level, and it's very healthy water.
And it tastes like, how does
Neutral,
it taste?
doesn't
Neutral?
Yeah, just the color is black.
It looks pretty cool though.
Yeah, thank you. You should try.
I'll take one to go.
Sure. We'll send. I've been fortunate enough even to be part of multiple so-called networking groups, such as Gujarat Chamber of Commerce. Startup Wings was started by me in 2016. That time it was part of a IT team, startup system. There was nothing like a startup ecosystem in Chamber of Commerce. So sub IT, there was a Startup India, and there was also something called Stand Up India.
Oh.
I've also been part of Corporate Connections, BNI, Business Network International, and love the most out of it.
It's a good thing we did this podcast right now. So we never know, like maybe you're not even available after a few months.
No, always available. All I have is time.
Startups and finances could be a tricky combination. Based on your experiences mentoring quite a few startups, what would your suggestion be when it comes to do's and don'ts of the financial landscapes of the startups?
So very true. To be honest, if there is no goal or no financial planning in any startup, it starts from a small project report. It's then you need to make a ROI, return over investment. And I've observed multiple startups. Everybody thinks in startup, paisa to kisi aur ka hai. Start using it, But that's not the way. I always call it a venture. It's not a startup. I'm very clear about what I want what I expect from each company or a startup. There are no do's or don't, but largely few things I suggest. Each startup should have a revenue generation. It could be as low as 1 rupee a day, 10 rupee a day, 100 rupees a day, depending on that. But there should be certain revenue. Unfortunately, here everybody thinks that start burning money, few years, 10 saal to loss karo, to paisa. And there are multiple companies in India who are unicorn and making crazy losses. There are multiple startups who are very well known with very less profit. So no point, personally speaking, I am not a big advocate of those kind of companies. There should be certain revenue. Of course, it's a timeline. It's not that you need to earn from first year, second year or third year. Purpose is you should at least try to be sustainable. My aim is to make any company sustainable in 3 terms. First is the supply chain. Second thing, whatever their expenses they are making in terms of salary or infrastructure cost. 30% of should be recovered. We are not saying 100%. And that is how you can showcase yourself in a better fashion. Investors and money it's a byproduct. It will automatically flow. Second thing, SOPs, what we call standard operational practices. Those should be in place. Those are very much a do. Revenues oriented. People don't use much of lead generation. Everybody talks about search engine SEO and hashtag, but that doesn't help. If you get X amount of 100 likes or 1000 likes for your post, who cares? What you should generate is revenue from that. Get a lead out of that. Make optimum use of WhatsApp for business, Instagram for business, LinkedIn for business. That is how you will gain new customers or engage your old customers.
So about scaling expectations for the investors, what would your take be on that?
To be honest, depends on case to case. There is no fixed thumb rule for scaling for investment. But yes, again, as I said, revenue is the one. What will excite any owner? That their money is appreciated, their money is utilized in right fashion. You are not wasting your same revenue for any unwanted marketing, wrong marketing, or just building a fancy office. What you invest in the tech, you invest in best of technology, best of servers, best of cloud. That is where you'll get result. There is something what we call is elastic server. So a number of users, there are 1,000 or 1 lakh users, we are using app. The app should function the way it should be. There should be zero glitch. There should be zero rough experience. That is where a tech company should invest. At same time, a tech company should make most of security. So end of the day, there are multiple certifications such as PCI, which is a credit card safety. There is something called HIPAA, which is for healthcare purposes. End of the day, you are playing with somebody's data, and if that data gets hacked, it's a wrong thing. People have trusted you, openly shared their data, and if Apple made a very simple tool, feature called app not to track. Now that led Facebook to fire 2,200 employees in a single month.
Oh my.
If I'm not wrong, it was 22,000. I don't remember the
About,
figure.
around,
but
yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg, in his apology letter to his employees, he mentioned very clearly, okay, because due to that feature, we are not getting any revenue. We are not able to track data of millions of users on Facebook and Meta. So your job is of no use. You people, if they don't have data, how will they promote or sell data to others?
The privacy is kind of interrupted.
Yeah. So it's, as I said, it's about ethical privacy. You are using data, you're consuming data is one natural thing, because it's meant for that. Without that, you won't get personalized advertisements. But if you sell or if you give that data away, it's not a good thing.
That was quite insightful.
Yeah.
I think it's time we move on to our next segment to know more, and I think you will find it quite interesting.
Sure, tell me. I look forward.
So let's move on to our next segment. Segment 5, Personal Insights and Vision. You've been a guest lecturer at IIM Ahmedabad and Nagpur. They are esteemed institutions. What would your advice be to the next generation of innovators and entrepreneurs through your lectures and mentoring?
Yes, I've been privileged enough to be invited at IIM Ahmedabad and IIM Nagpur. I'll tell you what I do at IIM Nagpur and Ahmedabad. So they have a special batch called AFP, which is Armed Forces Program. So Neharika, from 18 to 35 is a veteran's age, is army people's age. They go at 18 and most of them retire by 35 max. So this age where they are either on border, could be Navy, could be Army, could be Air Force, any of these three, they are being post their retirement, they get jobs usually as a dean of a college, a registrar of a university, or some managerial post at good bank. But when I went, I saw them as a huge potential, that should I start them into ecosystem of startup. So by now, through this 2 batches what I have catered, I'm so proud to say we have done placement at Blinkit, we have done at corporate, we have done at large Zomatos, we have done at delivery. A couple of startups for Armed Forces program, we are working, helping them out with seaplane coming up from Ahmedabad to Statue of Unity or Run of Kutch. That is where they are trying to build. And with their rich experience, they deserve a much more respect than a typical banking job. Or
Definitely.
And every time I go there, you tend to have a goosebump. They have given their most important age, their time on to save India as a country. And now when they are out looking for some revenue, they deserve something better than a basic job. So that is how I'm helping them. Apart from that, my goal is to inspire next generation of innovators and entrepreneurs to think beyond conventional, to challenge their status quo and do something disruptive. It could be as simple as idea, but if it's scalable, if it's practical, and as I said again, I always keep on saying that vitamin and painkiller. So if it's a painkiller, they should opt for it. Parallelly, my role should be maximum generating employment. That is the key, which will give me the most satisfaction.
So, any particular industries that you might want to recommend?
Currently, BFSI, banking sector. Power is coming big time, which is very, very underrated. Oil and gas, that is the thing. So apart from tech, there are many unconventional vocations which are on rise.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not currently the scenario of India will change every 2 years. Currently, there is something what we are working on is called night tourism.
Mm-hmm.
So which is a travel tech. Purpose is there are so many places even in city like Ahmedabad, 6 baje band ho gaya. You go to Sabarmati ashram, 6:30 close. Adalajwao, 7 o'clock close.
True.
You go to, now you don't expect travelers who in this weather so to go at 3 p.m, 2 p.m or early morning. So that now the government is working very vigorously for travel tourism. So these are the very niche areas where people need to keep their eyes and ear open and develop a product or know-how app about it. Could be something I were working on called senior citizen travel. So most of the people who have money, the age group is 55 years onwards, because children are married, they are retired, they have a comfortable life, not much of expense. But unfortunately, there are no places where they can easily travel in terms of, I'm not talking about India, other countries as well. So it could be basic from Jain food to vegetarian food to vegan food to Swaminarayan. So there are multiple people who are building such communities of database where to go, what to go. Everything is not available on net, so that there are travel techs coming up.
Might be off topic, but it caught my attention. What is your take on the vegan industry in India? Is it developing?
It is developing. It is developing for good. Multiple gut is improving. There are so many new something almond-based wrap, whatnot. I'm too much into food, so I can't keep my attention off it.
True. I mean, there are in Ahmedabad itself. I saw quite a few varieties of vegan milk and cheese.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it's a matter of awareness. Sooner or later, almond milk and whatnot. But it's people need to develop taste, and unfortunately, people have it more as a fashion statement, not as a understanding. I was happy to attend a wedding last year. The couple was from USA and they kept everything vegan.
Wow.
So, it was very different. It was not a typical Gujarati or North Indian setup where there's a counter and which was very tasty as well.
The food was good.
Yeah.
Okay.
But imagine a large wedding kind of place to serve vegan food and accept it.
And that to an extensive menu.
Extensive, rich menu. It was a very posh wedding.
So I think it's time for our final question.
Yeah.
What's your vision for the future of fintech and digital? How do you see these sectors transforming in the next decade?
So decade is too long, to be honest. Fintech keeps evolving every year. Forget decades. At least conservatively, every 2-3 years there is some major. There are times. What telecom was before 40 years is fintech currently. But what I can say is hyper personalization. That is the next big thing. Personalized data, analytics, and AI continue to evolve. Something like decentralization and blockchain. These are various very, very futuristic, very, very engaging applications are coming, and so much of innovation is happening in this space that decade, I don't know after a decade what will happen, but at least I can foresee in coming few years, 3 to 5 years, these are the next big thing, which are already there, but evolve and acceptance is the key. Parallelly, sustainable finance, which is green finance, from carbon tracking to investing in sustainable projects. ESG, environment, social governance, is one of them, and I think that is the real future. People will be predictable data, say 2026 or 27, how much carbon footprint will be saved for a hospital, or how much water we will be saving, and how much handicap or people with special needs will you be hiring. This will be all calculated, and on that basis your company health will be monitored. And this is up and running, to be honest, Neharika. This is not I'm talking about, but currently it is for very large companies which is 5,000 CR or above. But very soon it will be reducing to 1,500 crores, then it to 500 crores, and it's applicable. It should be applicable and mandatory for everyone.
What's in store for healthcare in regards to that?
Healthcare is way to the landscape of healthcare is changing dynamic. There are healthcare applications where public people who there are certain diseases or no, it's not even, it's a lifestyle disease where you do not get mediclaims, and there are some fantastic products which are coming. So yes, the healthcare landscape is changing in India for good. Let's hope for the best.
Mr. Chinmay, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on our podcast.
Likewise, Neharika. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, and your insights on fintech, innovation and entrepreneurship are invaluable. I'm sure the listeners had an amazing time listening to you,
Happy to
sharing your knowledge.
Anytime. Yeah.
Also, viewers, there's one more thing. This is not just it. Mr. Chinmay is available for more insights and more upcoming trends and more information on everything. All you have to do is just hear him out, where you can follow him. I'll let Mr. Chinmay take it from here.
Thank you so much. You can follow me on chinmayusha.com and also my LinkedIn page. Would be happy to help. Thank you.
Thank you to our listeners for tuning into Let's Talk Sense. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and stay tuned for more insightful conversations. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and let's keep talking sense.